Hello and welcome back to NFL Daily, where Mystic May is going to give you his predictions for Week 6 of the NFL season. Let's get right into the video. The Seattle Seahawks versus the Oakland Raiders in London. Russell Wilson has been willing the Seahawks to victory this year, even though his offensive line only blocks for him about 20% of the time. Basically, Wilson puts up pretty big numbers when he is facing a pass rush, and those numbers are only going to get bigger on Sunday when he isn't being rushed, which will happen when you're going head-to-head with the Raiders, who have the worst pass rush in the NFL. I have the Seahawks winning this matchup overseas 27-10. Pittsburgh Steelers at the Cincinnati Bengals. Rules often go out the window in divisional rivalries, and games between the Steelers and Bengals are no exception. In fact, these two teams seemingly wrote the rule book on breaking the rules. In one of their meetings last year, we saw Ryan Shazier suffer a serious neck injury, and we also saw Juju Smith-Schuster knock Vontaze Burfict unconscious. The Steelers have won 8 of the past 9 games in this series, and the worst part for the Bengals is that Cincinnati is basically like a second home for Steelers quarterback Ben Roethlisberger. Big Ben has won 5 games in a row at the Paul Brown Stadium, including the playoffs. And that is why I am taking the Steelers to win 20-17 in a hard-fought divisional game that will have at least one ejection. The Kansas City Chiefs at the New England Patriots. Since Andy Reid was hired by the Chiefs in 2013, the Patriots have gone 0-2 in the regular season against them, and both the losses were very ugly. Keeping this in mind, I think Bill Belichick will have the Patriots ready to come out and avenge those previous L's the Chiefs hung up on them. I think the Patriots' defense has very little chance of slowing down the Chiefs' stellar offense, and I absolutely think New England can win a shootout. These two teams had played earlier in the season. I would have picked the Chiefs by at least 10 points, but heading into Week 6, the Patriots are healthy. Tom Brady has every single weapon he needs back and playing well. Patriots win a shootout, 42-38. The Atlanta Falcons at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Another divisional matchup, this time in the NFC, coming off the bye. The Bucs are giving Jameis Winston his first start of the season. You can expect Winston to play well against a struggling Falcons defense, but you can also expect Matt Ryan with the duo of Julio Jones and Calvin Ridley to light up the Bucs' terrible secondary. While some divisional matchups are hard-fought defensive battles, this game seems to be set to be a shootout. Atlanta wins 35-28. Next up, we have the Carolina Panthers at the Washington Redskins. Cam Newton certainly is the focal point of the Panthers organization, and so far he has been playing very well and getting little to no notice from the media. Newton has played to his strengths, and within Nerve Turner's offense, is completing a career-high 65.4% of his passes. While Cam and the Panthers' offense seems to be clicking, their opponents, the Redskins, got blown out on Monday Night Football in New Orleans, and I expect their struggles to continue this week. Panthers win 21-17. Indianapolis Colts at the New York Jets. Andrew Luck has been playing well thus far, leading the league in both pass attempts and pass completions, while having to deal with injury after injury on the offensive side of the ball. His counterpart in this game, Jets quarterback Sam Darnold, has made it through a rough few weeks after starting his career off hot against the Detroit Lions. Running the football will be huge in this game for the Jets after they managed 323 yards on the ground in a victory against the Broncos last week. Having next to no run game, and with star wideout T.Y. Hilton still likely sidelined with an injury, the Colts seem to be undermatched for this one. Jets win 20-17. The Arizona Cardinals at the Minnesota Vikings. Coming off a win last week, the Cardinals do not stand much of a chance up in Minnesota. The Vikings seem to be over their early season struggles after their 23-21 win over the Eagles last week. Offensively speaking, Kirk Cousins to Adam Thielen is the most unstoppable duo in the league right now, and on the other side of the ball, the Vikings pass rush was able to disrupt Eagles quarterback Carson Wentz last week, and coming up against the struggling Cardinals offensive line, expect the Vikings pass rush to have a tremendous impact on this matchup. Vikings win 35-14. The LA Chargers at the Cleveland Browns. Before Baker Mayfield took over and led the Browns to a win over the Jets a few Thursdays ago, a December 2016 victory over the Chargers was the only win Cleveland could hang its hat on for 2 whole years. This in no way guarantees a Browns victory in this game, as Chargers quarterback Phillip Rivers is enjoying one of his best starts to a season with a 70.1 completion percentage, 13 touchdowns, and only 2 interceptions. However, it is worth noting that Cleveland's defense will be the best that Phillip Rivers has faced this season, and with the Bolts likely without Joey Bosa again, Baker Mayfield should have ample time to throw, and I am hopping on the Browns bandwagon. Browns win 17-14. The Buffalo Bills at the Houston Texans. Could the Bills win for a second week in a row? Who really cares? They definitely have a shot in this game, however, against the Houston Texans, who come into this game after 2 straight overtime victories. While these wins may have not been convincing, a win is still a win, and with Deshaun Watson playing better with each passing week, the Texans have a clear advantage at the quarterback position. Texans win by a touchdown, 24-17. The Chicago Bears at the Miami Dolphins. Coming off a bye week, the Bears will hope to be well rested and looking to hopefully not come out flat, or they could end up being the NFC's version of the Miami Dolphins, who have lost 2 straight after getting off to a 3-0 start to the season. Miami has been unable to throw the ball in the past 2 weeks, managing under 200 yards in each game. These struggles will not be easily fixed this week either, as the Dolphins are coming up against Khalil Mack and a Bears defense that is ranked 2nd in the NFL. This game is in Miami, so the Dolphins have a chance, but I think the Bears defense will be too much for the Fins. Bears win 21-13. The LA Rams at the Denver Broncos. Through 5 games, Rams quarterback Jared Goff has averaged 345.4 yards per game, which would be the loftiest figure ever if kept up over a whole season. Goff might not have to manufacture anything close to that output on Sunday, however, as Denver's run defense was so awful last week that Todd Gurley might be able to run for 155 yards by halftime. While Broncos quarterback Case Keenum did well to keep the Broncos competitive last week against the Jets, in this game he is simply going to be outgunned against his former team. Rams win easily, 34-17. The Baltimore Ravens at the Tennessee Titans. This has to be the ugliest football game of the entire week, and with both these teams being as inconsistent as they are, it is essentially a toss-up. The Ravens don't play very well on the road, while the Titans don't sometimes play very well at all. With this being said, both these teams have been stingy defensively this year, ranked 1st and 3rd in points allowed respectively. With both teams also struggling to run the ball, this game is going to come down to the play of the quarterbacks. With that in mind, Baltimore's passing game has easily been superior to Tennessee's this season. Ravens win 13-10. The Jacksonville Jaguars at the Dallas Cowboys. With both running backs Leonard Fournette and Corey Grant out for this game, the Jags will be relying on Blake Bortles at Jerry World this weekend. The Cowboys may be offensively challenged, but on defense, they have the 5th-ranked scoring defense in the league right now. Creating turnovers is the only thing that their defense really isn't doing, but goal line defense, pressuring the quarterback, and an improved secondary have made them a formidable unit. Very similar to their opponents, however. I predict the Cowboys to struggle big time on the offensive side of the ball. Jags win 17-10. The San Francisco 49ers at the Green Bay Packers. And on Monday Night Football, we find ourselves up at Lambeau Field. With the Packers wideouts getting healthier and healthier, Aaron Rodgers will have more than an inch within which to fit the football, meaning he won't be forced to hold on to it and take sacks. Otherwise, even the inconsistent 49ers pass rush might be able to get to him. Over the years, this matchup has taken place in many big games, but in this fairly ordinary regular season game, expect the Pack to cruise to a 28-10 win. And those are Mystic May's predictions for Week 6 of the NFL season. Be sure to let us know what you think about our predictions and what game you're most looking forward to this weekend in the comments down below. Thanks for watching the video, leave a like if you enjoyed, and don't forget to subscribe to NFL Daily to stay up to date with what's happening around the National Football League.